Hello, I'm your host, Jared Kendall, and we're back with another episode of What's Going On. And today we're here with Lucas Armstrong. And Mr. Armstrong, what's the name of your book?
The name of my book is called Your Story Is Not Your Story.
Your Story Is Not Your Story. One of the things that really got me about the book was you went into not so much as detail, but you really touched points about your kids and some of the adversities with your children as far as some of the accidents and things like that. And for most of us, we can't open up like that, about our kids. We can open up about ourselves, but when it comes to our kids, it's more on a personal level. And this book, it made me feel that you really, really wanted to touch bases with the personal as well as really letting people understand that you're just a person and not somebody so much as to be idolized, but to be a mentor to those kids and those people out there that and otherwise wouldn't understand that they can accomplish their dreams.
Right. Well, like you said, personally, I don't want to be idolized, but the things I've been through, I did because everybody can relate to those things. But like you said, they never get a chance to tell their story, So when I get out and speak in front of people, first thing they say, I can relate to you.
Yeah.
That's all I ever wanted. That's it. Okay, you can relate. So what I've been through, at the time I couldn't see it about it was helping people, but when I started to tell it, it started to touch people. That's when I got it. I said, you know what, God, I got it now. That was it.
Yeah.
That was it. He was like, I need you to go through that because I need you to touch some people. The way you are, the way you talk, the way you look.
Right.
I need you. They need to see another face.
Right.
And I need you to go through something so you can reach these other these other type of people, which is probably the young people, anybody, my age or, who can, a person that's energized, who's passionate about what he's doing. So I need to hit that type of target market for people. So I felt like I was a symbol for God.
Amen. And another thing that really, really blessed me with your story is that you left Pine Bluff for a while, and in order to give back, you came back. And most of the people, they tend to want to give back that, but they don't want to touch the grounds where they came from.
Right. It's in the seminar that we're doing. Like I said, I'm doing a seminar. It's called "It's All About You" Empowerment Seminar. And it's March 31st from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And I wanted to, this is where it started at. And it started home, the foundation here. I'm still the same Lucas. I'm still the same guy. I still like if I see you, I'm going to hug you and say, hey, how you doing? You good? I'm not going to be one of those people who was antisocial. So I wanted people, even my peers, I just wanted to encourage them. I wanted to motivate them. I wanted them, so what? You stay here in Pine Bluff. I mean, whatever dream you have, look, we need to get that dream up out of you because we don't want you to die what's inside of you. We want you to get it out.
Right.
And that was one of my goals, especially coming back home, to let people know that, hey, you know what? If he could do what he's doing, I could do something too. It might not be on the magnitude of what I'm doing, but you still have something great that you can do.
Yeah, you have the potential.
Yes.
And another thing that really got me about this book is it seemed like in the beginning of your life, and I mean the very beginning, there was adversity even at that point.
Day one.
Doctors
told my mom that I wasn't going to live to see the age of 3 years old because I was a premature child, only weighing 1 pound.
Wow.
So I'm different in some type of aspect of life because I came out from university. It was coming my way, So, and I dealt with it for a long time. I'm 31 now, but I've been dealing with it.
Yeah.
Things came up, and so it changed my perspective on life. It changed the way I treat people. I became more grateful. I feel like that I feel like I got a dream, and I feel like I wanted to get it out. I didn't care how much I had to sacrifice. I didn't care what I had to go through. I was going to get that dream up out of me, regardless.
And you know, one of the other things that really, really touched me was we were talking about earlier about your grandfather and how he influenced you.
Right.
And I know that not only did he influence you, he influenced your brothers and sisters.
Right.
But I think you took it to the next level in writing this book and giving you so much of yourself,
Right.
your personal self,
Right.
and being a mentor. And I just know that it for most people that would be uncomfortable.
It was initially in the beginning. it was. I was nervous. I couldn't. I'm like, man, I'm telling my life story to these people. Strangers that they don't know me. How they going to embrace me?
Yeah.
But like you said in the beginning, my granddad or my great granddad was never a slave.
Okay.
So he always been in control of his own destiny, his own life. So you think about that for a minute. The mindset.
Yeah, the mindset.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So from a person who from an early age who never been a slave, or who been per se been never had to work for someone, like we said, definition of a job,
Right.
just over broke.
Yeah.
We know that. So it's a different type of conversation. It's a different type of demeanor. Waking up when you want to wake up, doing the things that you want to do. Back then.
Right.
So if you see that, and it's going to be something in life that's going to spark that.
Right.
So it was already in because I seen it.
Right. And I think, as we go through life, even though we may not be able to see it, but we could be the first to ignite someone else's, progress. So don't look at it as you have to see it all the time, but just believe in it.
Right. And that's it. When I start my speech, I say, I believe in you. But I say it with conviction. I say it with power. Okay? And so when they hear that, this dude's not playing. And I'm not. Because I want to change a life. At least one life. I want to change lives, but I want to change at least one. And I want that person to walk out that room saying, you know what? With this life I got, I want to do something with it. And that's where the whole dream come in and your goal. I really want people to live who they really are, or who God chose them to be.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. In that I believe in you, is there anywhere that any person or anywhere that you have it in your book where you use this?
Right. Actually, it's 3 examples. The first one was my mom.
Okay.
Second, my best friend, Jeffrey Brown. He stuck with me for the last 10 years through this journey.
Okay.
He always seen the potential in me, but he always stayed by my side. So, and the last example was that, like I say, in the book, I explained a car wreck that I had the day after I graduated from college. And I went to UAPB, graduated in 2007 with a marketing degree. So I was happy one day, and next day I'm sad. Yeah. But I picked up 2 people from the side of the highway because they had ran out of gas, and a drunk driver hit us. And those passengers died in my car. But one of the guys in my car, his auntie, I had went to school with.
Okay.
And so while I'm in Little Rock and I'm in, in the bed strapped down because I can't contain myself because I'm trying to get out, but she came to me. She's like, "Oh, I know that young man. I had a senior class with him. I just seen her about a week ago, a couple weeks ago prior." And so her name was Miss Washington.
Okay.
And she came in the room and she was like, "Hey, we just took my nephew off of life support." And she was like, and tears rolled in my eyes because in the back home I was like, another person has died. And because the young lady that was with him, she was decapitated. So when she looked at me, she was like, and I'm crying. She was like, you go do something big, do something, And I felt that it was more like an obligation. And she walked away. She said, "I believe in you," And that was strong words coming from her, because she just took her nephew off of life support.
Yeah.
So anytime I felt like giving up in life, anytime I felt like I couldn't press on, I thought about that. Like I said, they said your why supposed to make you cry.
Right.
Your WHY. We need a big why. And I think a lot of people don't have enough why in life. That's why they don't move forward.
Right.
And my why was my daughter not giving up on her life.
Wow.
She was 2 years old, head split open. She didn't give up on her life. My son, who had cancer for 2 years, didn't give up on his life. So my why was so big It was like, if you know the why, the how will come.
You know, and another thing too, on the back of your book, there's something important that I want our viewers to see, and that's I believe in you.
The reason why I did that because I looked at other books, and you know they have the picture and the biography of them.
Right.
I wanted to talk to them, so when they turned it on, I wanted them, if they was going through something that day, I wanted the book to talk to them. And I made the book short because I wanted to be instant motivation. You know, we live in a microwave society where people want things quick.
Right.
So they could read this book in one day and be inspired to take action. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted. And I had a young guy, I had pulled up at McDonald's, and this young lady, she's like, kept looking at my face. I'm like, what she looking at? She's like, oh, I got your book. She read the book.
Wow.
She's like, I loved it. And because the book is simple, you know, I wasn't the greatest English major in school, but, you know, with money, you could pay people to do that, people. But I wanted the words to be simple because I wanted the youngest person, if they were 6, 7, 8 years old, to read the book.
Yeah. And you know, most of the times, people, they feel they got to use big words to impress people.
Yes.
It's not about impressing. It's about who you could...
Impacting.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
And I think sometimes as some writers, they miss that mark. And so you tend not to feel that closeness or that certain thing that draws you to the book. And with this book, you know, I can say that I would encourage anybody that needs to be motivated or feel that you can't make it through the next day, you know, to get this book. To me, even the back of the book is enough to buy the book to say, I believe in myself.
Right. And if you just come to the event, we want to give away books for free. And, you know, thanks to UAPB, that, you know, we just, you know, my whole goal, you know, I'm doing the event for free. I did not charge the speaking fee because this is hometown to me. So I wanted to do something to give back. And it's more like an obligation, you know. And I want the young people to see, you know what, man, I'm young because when that accident happened to me, I was just 23 years old. See, let's go back now. The devil tried to take me. He told my mom that I wouldn't live to see the age of 3. So now I'm 23. He started
going back through it.
Yes. So since he couldn't get to me, he started to attack my kids. So. But this is the thing, when I look at that age and when I'm going to speak to the kids at UPB, don't take you being as young for granted.
Right.
Do not take it for granted. You could do so much while and you don't even know this. Yeah, you might look at UPB, oh, it's not a big university, but it's a university. It's something that you still attain a goal to get you to your next life. But you could do so much in that small window like I did. You know, I was taking my refund checks, going to seminars, investing in myself, working on my mindset. You know, when people wanted to pledge and go to clubs and stuff like that, I was flying, going to California, Florida, Dallas, everywhere, and I was
investing in yourself.
Yes, and in a room where people was teaching me. You know, that's why God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth. I was quiet and I was listening. I was hungry, like Les Brown would say. I was hungry for the information. You know, and when I got the information, I took it for granted a little bit, but it changed me and it changed my perspective. But life hit and made it just magnified.
Wow.
You know.
I want to ask you something. Do you find yourself when you see the youth of the day, and you were talking about the age at 3, you wasn't supposed to live to that point. Do you find yourself thinking that you're speaking back to that 3-year-old?
I can remember a little bit at 3. Most definitely 6 I remember. 5 and 6 I remember. Yes, because, you know, doctors telling me, you know, I learned early on to not let opinions become my reality.
Wow.
Other people's opinions. So I can remember so much, you know, all the, I can't do this, I can't, instead of I can. And so, yes, I'm speaking to them. Because I developed the mind then to, I want to prove them wrong. Like, no, you're not finna, you know, tell me what I can't
dictate
do.
my life.
Right, no, at an early age. So I always had that comeback power. I always had that fighting spirit saying, you know, one day, You know, I used to sit on my basketball and look at the stars and be like, one day I'm gonna do something big. If it's not basketball, because I love to play basketball, but if it's not that, it's going to be somewhere I can impact the world. But I didn't know what I was going to go through. That's why the title of the book, Your Story Is Not Your Story, it wasn't never my story. God already intended for me to go through it. He knew I was going to survive, but I did not.
Yeah.
So when I did, I was like, okay, it was an obligation. I got to tell it. I got to, you know, I'm doing harm to myself if I'm keep it in, because
That's right.
I can save someone alive.
And not only that, that's in a sense, if you think about it, disobedience, you know, to God. So, you know, I commend you for hearing God and writing this book.
I was hard-headed now.
Well, I think we're all hard-headed to some point and extent.
I was real hard-headed. I was chasing money instead of chasing my purpose. You know, because I had made money. I was making some good money doing what I was doing, but I lost it all.
Now, let me ask you this. Speaking about mentoring and things of that nature, now you were a speaker at the Potter's House as well as the Urban League.
Yes.
Now, and then you also surrounded yourself with millionaires, people that were encouraging you and putting you on stage to prepare you for something that you had no idea that it would be, I guess, as grand or as great as it is, to be able to come back to your city to be able to speak to the youth.
Right. One of my mentors, Mr. Terry Allen, he said, Lucas, if you get focused, man, you go speak in front of thousands of people. He said, but you got to get focused. I was young. He said, man, when you get it all together, he seen the vision then for my life when I didn't see it for myself.
Amen.
Like they always say, you can't never see the picture while you in the frame.
Ooh, there you go, people. Wow.
And so it takes somebody else to see the potential in you.
Amen.
You know, like my best friend Jeffrey Brown. He's all in the book. Jeffrey Brown. He stayed on me because he seen the potential, but he was always on me. Lucas, what you doing today? Lucas, dude, you're not gonna waste this potential that you got. You got a gift. Because this is the funny thing, because in the business that we was in, he was like, man, I can't see myself getting on stage doing all that. But I could. I knew then that was my gift. Everybody couldn't get on stage.
Right.
And impact the people, inspire the people. That's my gift. So when I'm blessed enough to recognize my gift at an early age.
You think that that's attributed to your grandfather? I mean, because I'm thinking to myself, you know, as I sit here and looking back at a time when, you know, blacks, we really didn't own anything, you know, and for him to come along and, you know, be a farmer and really actually have workers that work for him. Right. This had to be like something that really, really affected you deeply.
The only thing he would say to me was, I always have something for y'all. And that was huge, you know, and I kept that in the back of my mind. Plus, it was other people around, other workers and things like that. It was older people, which, you know, God rest their soul. They're dead now, but it was older people that said, look, Armstrong, do something with your life. Do something big, man. Don't be just like us. So I know how, you know, if you make bad decisions, where it could lead you, because I seen it at an early age. I seen people on crack cocaine. I seen people who was alcoholic. I seen it at an early age. But they always had, me and my brother, they would always say, hey, you know, y'all little Armstrong, y'all go do something good. Y'all go do, you know, do this, do that. You know, so, but I seen a bad example, because we got to see it. You know, some people need to see something. They need to hit them so they can wake up.
Right.
So I seen something at an early age, and it changed me. It changed my perspective.
Before we go, there was another topic that I wanted to talk to you about that during another speaking event that you were a part of, you were talking about a fast. And I just want them to hear the different topics under that that you were discussing.
This is called a 30-day mental fast. I'm 31 now. When I was 21 years old, I was introduced to a guy named Jerry Clark. And when I learned the information, and I met him, I spoke with him, everything like that, But when he told me this information, it changed my life. It was the foundation of my life. It was the foundation for me reprogramming my mindset. It was the foundation for me for me to go after my goals and dreams. It was a foundation for me becoming the person who I am today. And step one was listening to audios. A lot of people listen to rap music, a lot of people listen to this and that, but listen to something positive that's going to help you accomplish what you need to accomplish out of this life.
Okay.
Second was reading. Reading. What you reading? Besides the Bible. Most people don't even read that.
Amen.
The positive books instead of the trashy novels.
Right.
What you read, what you put in you must come out.
Right.
And I learned that at an early age. The third step, no radio. When you in your car, put on something positive. You can listen to your music or whatever, but on your way to work, listen to something positive. Listen to something that's going to make have you bring peace before you go to work, before you go to that job.
Yeah.
Like we said, just so broke. We said that.
Wow.
The fourth step, no newspaper. A lot of people wonder why they look, when they first get the paper in the morning, it's negative news.
Right.
So, and you might not think nothing about it, but it's just you plant seeds in your mental mind. Your
right. And it is discouraging when you read the newspaper.
Right. And that's why people can say anything about Pine Bluff. Oh, it's bad. It's this. It's that. It's that. Da da da. Okay, all you're seeing is what's on the newspaper, but you're not seeing is people out here who's doing positive things like yourself.
Yeah.
Who's doing big things in life. And the next step was no TV. It's funny, we heard this a long time ago. CNN, constant negative news.
Wow.
Because if you look,
always negative. Yeah.
People, what they do in the morning, that's what they turn to.
Yeah.
So they feeding all that negativity in their mind. And then the next two steps, drink a lot of water and exercise. But that right there has been the foundation for me learning everything. So it started out at 30 days, turned into 10 years. So yeah, I watch TV, everything, you know what I'm saying? But majority of my mind is controlled. I control it. I watch a little TV. It's more listening to audio. So
it's a balance.
Yeah, so you get in my car, you're gonna see Les Brown, you're gonna see Johnny Wimber, you're gonna see Zig Ziglar, you're gonna see Jim Rome, and I'm playing. So when you talk to me, I'm so jacked up my mind. I'm coming out of the car.
Right.
I'm
fully empowered.
I'm fully empowered. I'm energized.
Yeah.
I'm like, let's go. But they don't know why.
Right.
But I learned early on, to leave your problems at home, and the person that you see yourself becoming, you need to act like that person in front of people.
Wow.
But see, we can't do that. It's hard because we never seen who we really want to become.
That's almost like, when somebody brings reality to you, mm-hmm. It's like it shocks you at first, but if you think about it, when you hear the news, it's always something negative. And if you try to pick a positive role model as far as entertainment, they always let you down. But if you look at the average person that's a millionaire and they've made it honestly, they've made it through hard work, and not saying that the artists or the actors don't work hard at their craft, but there's a difference, I believe. When you have to get out there, and it's not about how you look or how you can read a line. It's all about how you can convey your message to make people believe in you, to get you to a certain point to where also to believe in yourself.
Yes.
Because again, as the book clearly says, it's not your story. And I find that to be inspiring in itself, and for you to change every adversity in your life to a positive. And again, I look at all the places you have spoken, and I think to myself, you could have very well went anywhere other than come back home.
Anywhere.
But you've chosen to give back to this community, and we need that positive role model. So I want to commend you, Mr. Armstrong, on doing what you do, and I hope to see you again on What's Going On.
Thank you.
And this concludes, again, another segment of What's Going On. But before we go, I want to leave you with this. Where's your speaking engagement again?
UAPB Student Union, March 31st, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. It's all about you empowerment seminar. Books will be for free.
Amen. So you shouldn't miss it. Books are free. So see you again.